All right, guys. Stop typing in the chat. Make sure you guys are muted because I hear myself in one of your guys' computers. We're going to go over grammar today. Tomorrow you have a grammar test, of course, because it is Friday. And it is not a Google form. Tomorrow your test is on a quizzes. So I know we've done that in the past, but I was just letting you know. If you're virtual, it'll open up around 9:30, 9:45-ish. Everyone here will take it during grammar time tomorrow. So we're just going to go through this. As always, you can use this on your grammar test tomorrow. So make sure you have your quizzes open and this open in 2 different links. So remember, this week we were talking about compound and complex sentences. We're talking about semicolons and commas. So remember, a compound sentence is 2 independent clauses joined with a conjunction, and, button, or a comma. And then complex just has a comma, and it's a dependent and an independent together. So we did the first 2 together. Remember, some of you did not follow directions. It said to highlight the punctuation you added. So next time, follow all directions. But anyways, the first one is I wanted to go to the movies, comma, but I don't know the movie times. Number 2 was although it's very cold outside, comma, whatever this name is, decided not to wear a coat. The next one, I like to read books, comma, watch movies, comma, and play basketball. This is a series. There's more than 3, or there's 3 or more things. So you should have added 2 commas to sentence 3. Sentence 4, this one was one where you had to use semicolons because dates already have commas. So make sure you pay attention. This one's tricky. We can hold the meeting on Tuesday, comma, March 20th, semicolon. Thursday, comma, March 22nd, semicolon, or Wednesday, comma, March 20th. Because dates already have commas, that is why we put semicolons where normally a comma would go. So you needed to add 5 different punctuation marks to this sentence. If you didn't do that, you should be doing it now. If you turned in your grammar on time, I've already graded it and given it back to you. If you go to the store, you should buy some more apples, commas, strawberries, and pears. This was a series. You needed to add 2 punctuation marks. Bless you, are there any question on this page? Lots of you did this correct. Some of you did not do it correct. Michaela, you are not even looking at the screen, girlfriend. How are you paying attention if you're not looking at the screen? Focus. All right. Lots of us did not do this correct. Some of you did. So make sure, Evan, take your goggles off and put your glasses on. Friends, just because you're eating does not mean you cannot pay attention. Are there any questions on this page? If not, I'm going to scroll on down. There will definitely be questions like this tomorrow. On page 2, we were talking about the introductory element, and the introductory element were the words or phrases and clauses that appear at the beginning of a sentence. They add information, but don't necessarily take part in the main sentence. You had to highlight the introductory and comma. Okay? All right. So we did a few together, but would anyone like to tell me what they did for number 1? Oh, no. Number 1, anyone? I don't want to draw sticks. I just wanted someone to volunteer. Michaela, what'd you put? Just tell me, please, out loud. Name is Fortin. Okay, I wanted you to tell me what you used for your introductory. Like, tell me, what should I highlight? Where should my comma go? So she highlighted like and put a comma. Anyone else? Yes, no, maybe so. Rochelle? Yeah, because I would have done the same thing. I would have highlighted all of like James Fortin because that's where like the natural break is. Like James Fortin, comma, many successful. So that's where like the natural break is. So I would have done like James Fortin. For example, highlighted that, comma, Or it could be like this one, like James Fortin, comma. Hold on. Everyone give me 5 seconds. Let me see what Mrs. Jones did. Oh, she didn't do it either. All right. So how about for number 1, you can do like, comma, James Fortin, comma, or you could do, no, I don't like that. I think it should be after James Fortin. Anyways, for example, Frederick Douglass, so it should be for example, comma. Number 3, at the time, it was difficult. At the time should have been highlighted, and you should have a comma after time. Next, for many African Americans should be highlighted because that's what the natural break is. We did, for example, or in fact, together. Well should be highlighted with a comma after it. As a result, highlighted. Oh no, I put my comma in the wrong place in the top one. As a result, comma. Yes, comma. And then we did well and in my opinion together. So it's where like the natural break is when you speak. So these ones you really need to say loud. And after the introductory element, you always put a comma. Okay? So make sure you put a comma. All right? You can't just, shouldn't have just highlighted it. You also had to add the comma. Okay? Next page. We were doing commas for direct address and taglines. Remember, direct address is when I'm saying like class or Evan or Mrs. Kneifel. And then tag questions are when you're asking a question somewhere. So Tara said the paper is due tomorrow, comma, Bill. So that is a direct address. We're addressing Bill. We need to add a comma before Bill. I need to find out more websites, Andrea, before I can begin to write. So this one's a little bit tricky because it's a direct address, but it's in the middle of a sentence. So you need to have a comma before Andrea and after Andrea because it's a direct address, but it's coincidentally in the middle. So fun fact, before and after. And then you should have all your research done by now, comma, shouldn't you? That was a tag question, okay? So we're just adding commas, taking commas away. Well, not taking them away, but adding commas. Any questions on this page? Our 4th page was just reviewing these 5. So we did one together. Reading is a good way to learn about other people, comma, don't you think? That's a tag question. Next one. Yes, you can find cookbooks, reference books, and the newest novels in the library. Yes, comma, that is a introductory element. And then I have a series, cookbooks, comma, reference books, comma, and the newest novels in the library. So cookbooks, reference books, newest novels, that is a series. So you should have added 3 commas to this sentence. Next one, Miguel, find a book about the Revolutionary War, will you? Miguel is a direct address. And then will you is a tag question. So you need a comma before that one. So you should have added 2 commas to this sentence. This next one has dates. So you need semicolons too. The library will be closed Monday, comma, April 2nd, semicolon. Monday, comma, May 28th, semicolon. And Wednesday, comma, July 4th. So you should have added 2 semicolons and 3 commas. To separate a day and a month, you add a comma. To separate dates, you need semicolons because they already have commas. Okay? That's important to remember. And our last one here says, although, ooh, that's an introductory element. So I'm going to add a comma before although. Although, oh, it doesn't want me to do that. I like that. Although the book I wanted has been checked out, I found a book to read. So, okay, it doesn't want me to do that. I personally would do although, comma, because it's a tag. What are you doing? Why are you standing? Okay, well, right now you should be listening. Unless you have literally 1 minute till it's going to die. Can you listen, please? And then this is a complex sentence. It does not have and, but, and or to it is a dependent and a independent, so it's just connected by a comma. Okay, so all you had to do was add one comma there. And then the final one is connect to writing. We had to read these and fix as always. Okay, I have read some exception. Wait, I have read about some exceptional Americans. For example, James Fortin fought in the war, built up a business, and worked to abolish slavery. That's hard to read without commas. Fun fact. At the time he lived, African American, had few rights or opportunities. In my mind, this makes him even more extraordinary. Once again, so hard to read without commas. Sentence 2 contains an error. Which of the following ways could you rewrite the sentence? I want you all to read that and let me know when your hand is raised what you think the correct answer is. Is it, for example, comma, James Fortin fought in the war, comma, built up a business, comma, and worked to abolish slavery? Is it, for example, James Fortin fought in the war, comma, built up business, and worked to abolish slavery? Is it, for example, James Fortin fought in the war, built up a business, and worked to abolish slavery? Or is it no changes? Berchelle, what do you think? It is a, for example, is a introductory element, and then we have a series. Fought in a war, comma, built up a business, comma, and then worked to abolish slavery. That is a series. And number 2, what change, if any, should be made to sentence 3? Sentence 3, at the time he lived, African Americans had few rights or opportunities. Do we need to add a comma after lived? Add a comma after time? Add a comma after rights? Make no changes. When you know, raise your hand. Olive. At the time he lived, African Americans had few rights or opportunities. I'm going to disagree. It is not C. Hannah. At the time he lived, African Americans had few rights or opportunities. I personally feel like it should be A. Yeah, at the time he lived, break, African Americans had few rights or opportunities. I would put A. Okay? Because otherwise, it's at the time he lived, African American. I would put after lived. At the time he lived, comma, African Americans had few rights or opportunities. So I would put A and A. Are there any questions over our entire lovely thing? As always, you can use yours on grammar tomorrow, your grammar quiz, okay? Remember, your grammar quiz is on a quizzes. If you're a virtual student, the link will open up around 9:40-ish, 9:30-ish. Make sure you get it done tomorrow. If there's no questions, you are free to leave me. Your next live is reading at 11:05. Bye, friends. I was talking to the virtual students.